Hello everybody, welcome back to Robot Tech. My name is Beskar5, and today, hello, we're back. I told you we'd be back next month. We have, of course, Beskar Snake, and today we have a very special guest, KingKongRong. This time he invited himself. I didn't invite him, so he wanted more and more. It's what happens when we invite people. They never go away. So, how is everyone doing? How are you, Beskar Snake?
Doing well. You know, weather's starting to warm up, which I'm not as big a fan of, but that means baseball's back, so I'm happy about that.
Don't even get me started. All right, and KingKongRong, how are you since December?
It's been very busy, but I'm really happy to be here again to kind of talk about my adventures over the past few months.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
If you're new here, welcome. We talk about gaming, video games, board game. Maybe we should talk about board games once in a while. That's part of gaming, right? Yeah. Gaming, video games mostly, and games in general. And we talk about gaming topics. So this month we brought a guest. So I'm excited about this one. So I'm glad. So let's run off real quick. What games did you play last month? Start with our guest, KingKongRong.
Now you're starting with me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, it's been very busy, so I only had a chance to play a couple games. Stray. Mm-hmm. So a really fun cat game, and Wild Hearts. Well, it's a Monster Hunter game. Monster Hunter style game published by EA, who apparently hates squirrels.
Yeah.
Because 4 of the 6 monsters I've faced so far are some sort of massive, crazy-looking squirrel.
Right.
Oh, hold on. My camera lost focus.
Yeah, it's all...
You're just part of the robot attack.
Yeah.
Witness protection.
This is
fine.
This is the robots attacking.
What? Okay. That's where they start. There's just an EMP blast in just your area.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, that's actually what KKR looks like.
There you go. Nailed it. It's okay. Shh.
The robots attacked my camera.
And the robots attack is all blurry and stuff.
See, okay. that was the test. You passed the test.
See, luckily enough...
Make sure you knew what to do in that situation.
Right.
And you passed with flying colors.
Luckily enough, the people who view this on Spotify won't have to have any issues, so...
If you only watch on Spotify, you should go check out YouTube and just see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah. You should just check out both, because, Anyways.
Sure, have them running simultaneously.
Yeah. Links in description below, people.
Yeah. Anyways, go on. They just hate squirrels. I got it.
Yeah.
I think maybe video games kind of have this, one trolley trying to, get the memes, video game. I can't even make a point, but I feel like some video games do it for the memes, and maybe that's maybe EA is trying to get on that. Look at all these squirrels in this game. And,
I feel like
Portal in a way.
Development meeting went. You know what enemy isn't in that many video games? Squirrels.
Yeah.
So let's just put a whole slew of them in, because I can only think of maybe Pokemon.
That's about it.
I'm trying to think of other things that have squirrel. Maybe
Dragon
Quest.
Octodad is kind of a meme game in a way.
Octodad is
I love Octodad.
A surprisingly fun game.
I still have to pick it up.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I still have to play Stray. I heard it's very short. Is it worth it? I think I am.
Yeah. I mean, it's short, but it has a solid story. I played it again because I loved. In the 5 or 6 hours of the main game,
mm-hmm.
it built a really fascinating world. I still think about the story elements and even just the environment.
Wow, that's impressive in a short game. Sometimes you can tell a story that condensed and it can leave an impact, but it's kind of rare. So that's impressive.
It makes you ask questions again, because it's why are they like this? What happened to the world? A lot of times it's just backfill story, whatever, just to make the environment go. But they delivered it in a way that, really made me care about what the answers to those questions would be.
I'll have to go finally finish it. I started it, at the end of my last 24-hour, and I got like hung up in a spot. I couldn't find this one more objective, and I swear I looked all over the city. But like I said, that was at the end of a 24-hour, so I think I was was a little, you know, exhausted and everything. So I do need to go back and finally finish. It was fun. What I played of it, it was fun. It was interesting. I was when it first was coming out, I was like, I'm really interested in that, but how much can they put into a story where you just play as a cat? Like,
yeah, right.
You know, you're not talking. You're not.
I feel like
doing any of this
what
stuff.
makes that game good is just the gorgeousness of it. I watched.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I watched a little bit, and I was like, "Good God!" Like
the environment they built is incredible. I will agree with you on that for sure.
Anyways, any other games that you played? Sorry, we interrupted. That's what we do. No, here.
I mean, there's games I wanted to play but didn't get a chance to.
Like what?
Well, when City Skylines got that new expansion,
yeah, City Skylines 2,
and then I just didn't have time.
Add that to
the list.
Well, no, they announced City Skylines 2.
Yeah, and that was the other thing.
Yep.
I really want to play that. I just hope I have a computer that can actually play it.
You got some time.
You got yeah. It's gonna be fine. Cool. Now, Beskar Snake, what games? You also been quiet this month. I feel like
it's been a bit busy. PlayStation Plus made Battlefield 2042.
Oh yeah,
free to play. So I've been playing a decent amount of that. Went back to MLB The Show 21. I haven't gotten the last 2 years. I might pick up this year's, but who knows. But was having a lot of fun with that. With, like, as I mentioned before, baseball coming back for those that follow. Played some. Wow, I'm just drawing a blank right now. Those were the. Well, I mean, you know, actually, surprisingly, no. What's wrong with me? Am I broken?
This is twice now, Beskar Snake. I just want to make sure. Okay, Beskar Snake.
Shut it down. Just pull the plug. That's it.
This is Beskar Snake. Yeah, okay. This is Beskar Snake on Discord. Okay.
No, sure. I did start kind of making
2 months in a row, Beskar Snake.
That is. Oh my goodness! Everyone, fill out your bingo cards.
Yeah. It's not on there.
True. But yeah, no, I mean, that was the bulk of what I played. I played little bits and pieces elsewhere. Started up Mega Man Legends again. I got it running on my Steam Deck, and it's such a good game. I really wish we got a third one, or we had another one coming out, but I think that series is unfortunately long dead. But yeah, I mean, like I said, a few other smatterings of things here and there. But most of what I did get to play things was split kind of between baseball, Battlefield. I did play a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. Right now, depending on when this goes up, I think until the beginning of May, if you log back in. You can play for free up to, I think it's 96 hours from the time that you log back in if you don't have a subscription. So I played some more of that and kind of thought about maybe getting back more into it, but still not entirely sure about it. It's fun. I just have, as we've talked about on the podcast before, I have such an issue with paying a subscription to games. Just a quick little recap going back to that. I have a hard time. If I pay for something as a service like that, I feel obligated to only play that game to get my money out of it. And as we've talked about also on the podcast, I like to play such a variety of so many different games that it's hard for me to just stick to one. And if I'm going to pay for 30 days for something, I'm gonna feel almost guilty playing anything else if I'm not playing to get that money out of it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try another month of it or so, but we'll see from there. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of what I've played over the last month. So how about you, Scouter?
I'm glad you asked. I'm just gonna put these up here real quick. Resident Evil 4 came out. I don't know if you know this. I think everyone should know this. If not, buy it immediately right now.
Thankfully, I forgot, but now you're reminding me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
No.
So, so there's a free demo. So if you're interested, it's for free. Just putting that out there. Beskar Snake. I know how much. I got
Maybe I'll give it a go.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I got the collector's edition. So it's a long wait that I got. I ordered that ages ago.
Go check out that unboxing on Smart's channel.
It's on YouTube. I mean, it was pretty cool. Definitely.
It looked
very
like they actually made it worthwhile, though.
Oh yeah,
it looked like it was more than just, hey, here's a keychain,
right,
and a different cover art.
Yeah, this is a steel
book, the greatest case ever made.
Just that alone, I think was, and honestly, the game, I'm loving it. I'm loving every second.
Can you knock a zombie out with that thing?
Yeah, it's very definitely Resident Evil 2 remake-esque. Same like, I'd say graphics wise, and it's just if you haven't played it yet, the levels are different. So even me, religiously playing Resident Evil 4, the original, playing it now, it's a different game in a sense. So that's kind of nice. So you're not. I felt already lost in that game. I'm just like, I know this game. What is wrong with me? Like, I know where everything is, but obviously they changed it around. So definitely, at least play the demo, because it's worthwhile. Anyways,
I will put a time limit on this. We can discuss outside, but no, not a time limit on that. I know we already have something in relation to this, but within a specified time limit, if you finally beat Metal Gear Solid, maybe I'll give Resident Evil 4 a go.
I'm gonna speedrun it real quick. Then. I know I've been things that I will play it. Maybe this weekend or something. I say that everyone weekend.
Check your bingo card.
No, it's Resident Evil 4. This was worth it, but of course I had to buy some sort of physical copy. I just had to, and it comes if you haven't seen the unboxing video, comes with like a poster, comes with a statue.
Don't give too much away. Make them go watch the video.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And it comes with other surprise item. Whoa. Is that better? So no,
I will take my payment as your marketing manager.
Yeah. I think if you're not a Resident Evil 4 fan, obviously don't buy the collector's edition, or Resident Evil fan.
The collector's edition isn't going to sway somebody who's not like.
I mean, if you're not obsessed like me, then I wouldn't recommend it because it was expensive.
I feel like most collector's editions are that way. There might be a couple out there that it goes, you know what? Even if you're not a big fan of the series, you've got to get this collector's edition because it'll be well worth it.
Maybe that'd be a good podcast topic. Anyways, some Sea of Thieves. They have a new season 9. So far, I am enjoying it. They have some little minor features, nothing too extravagant. They have a season pass similar to other games, and it's pretty good. I mean, I feel like you get, like with Fortnite and stuff like that, I feel like we got to get to level 100 and then buy it, because if we're not going to get to 100 at least, it might not be worth it. But it's been quiet this month. I feel like same thing. I'm just a little bit shaky of Unbound being sick and just chilling out. Just a nice break, you know. Anyways,
sorry I haven't been able to play with you.
It's okay.
It's
Beskar Snake hasn't been playing with us either. Don't worry about it.
I've never invited. I'm busy a lot of times. I do still need to get Sea of Thieves. I have thought about it multiple times. It's a frustrating game that sometimes you could go get a bunch of treasure, right? And then this boat just comes on by and ruins your day, and just like
all that like an hour of just getting this treasure and just make it go away. It's a little frustrating at some ports. On some ports.
See, I get why that'd be frustrating because you wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
But my favorite was when Scouter convinced me to play PvP, right off.
It's very hard to communicate to.
And then, it took me like 15 minutes to boot up the game because I had to update. And we finally got on the boat, the round starts, and then we die in less than 5 minutes. And I was like, well, that's...
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, I didn't spend a lot of time on that. All right.
Yeah, luckily PvP is kind of win, and you still advance, but yeah. Anyways, enough. I think it's a good game. I think, unfortunately, it's not. I know a lot of people literally get sick from that game too. So it's not for everyone.
Because they render the water
so well,
really well.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, that can be an issue.
The water is probably arguably the best water in a video game. That's how good it is.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the only one. A lot of people say this. It's a very gorgeous. Generally, it's kind of a gorgeous game, and then the water just makes it. But yeah, I definitely I've been watching some streamers play it because it's like I want to get good, try to get some strategies and stuff. So I've been watching, and they always have Twitch drops. If you're not aware, when sometimes during streamers they'll say drops, and if you some games they'll have Fortnite and stuff. I mean, they don't have Fortnite, but they have, for instance, they have all sorts of stuff. So, just check out the drops every once in a while for games through Twitch. And, yeah. So, I know they do Monster Hunter and all this other stuff. And yeah, they do Wild, trying to see. They do all sorts of stuff. Yeah, definitely. You just click drops and rewards and look through all of them, and they'll tell you the dates. They have Madden NFL 23. They have all this other stuff. They have different ones every couple of weeks, but yeah. Anyways, off topic. But yes, let's get to our main topic. This podcast is sponsored by NGA Fundraising. No, I'm just kidding. A little bit.
That contract's in the mail.
Yeah, I told KKR. I said, usually we don't take sponsors, but and we set a bill to them, but we
just wait till next month. All of this will be completely different because of the money that's coming.
Right. We're gonna be in mansions, and but we cut
suits.
We cut a deal with KKR this month now. So I guess I'll kind of introduce it a little bit, and then KKR could. So KKR is starting an Esports Trade Association. So basically, kind of having a community. So correct me if I'm wrong. Kind of bringing around nonprofits together, kind of connecting them and trying to help them out, basically. And you are a consultant for them. Am I right?
Yeah, for the most part. So I'm a member. Well, first of all, like I said, I've been very busy for the past few months just because of work, and because I've been spending more time with my consulting agency, Make Gaming About Fundraising. It's MGA, Make Gaming About Fundraising.
I like it.
Yeah. It's also the initials of my name, so it kind of has a double meaning.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. The whole
That's
vision for the... Thank you.
Yeah.
The whole vision of the company was to, like you said, bring video game communities and nonprofits together. I think for us, we've done charity streaming for years now. We know that sometimes companies they want to get into the gaming fundraising space, but they don't know how. Mm-hmm. But I've been working in fundraising for over 10, 12 years, and I wanted to really bring my experience as a professional together with, my love of, video games. And I wanted to bring that perspective over to other nonprofits. And so at the beginning of the year, I joined the Esports Trade Association, the ESTA. and they're all about advancing like the broader interests of the esports community. So not just like business, but also the community as a whole. So I've been recently named to the fundraising committee of the ESTA, so that I can help them raise funds for like local initiatives. And they're based out of Chicago. And interestingly, I've been asked to help their Extra Life fundraiser for the Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago. So I thought this is perfect because I've spent 4 or 5 years raising money through Extra Life. And I thought this would be a great topic for us to discuss because, combined, we've got over a decade's worth of Extra Life experience, thousands of dollars raised for Extra Life for our children's hospitals. And I thought, hey, you know what? Let's talk about how esports can have this really great potential for fundraising, especially in Extra Life. Because one of the things that I think sets esports apart from individual streamers like ourselves, like you and I and like, Beskar Snake, Scouter, and myself, we have our own, individual Twitch channels. If we're lucky, or resourceful, we have things we can give away to folks. But it's really based mostly on our time and our money, right, to be able to do so. With esports, you have inbuilt infrastructure. You're going to have people who are dedicated to things like marketing, corporate social responsibility. They have a location. A lot of the pro teams have their own esports like arena, or it's not really an arena, but a space for them to play tournaments in. The players, and most importantly, sponsors. And I think a lot of sponsors look at it as another opportunity for themselves to be able to give back. If nothing else, just great image boost for them, of course. But I think people also they miss on the opportunity of like workplace giving. If you're a company that will match for donations, then if their employee decides to give like even $1, if they match 2, 3 to 1, that's multiplying your gifts. In Extra Life, we can see this example. I know Salesforce has a company team. They're regularly in the top team standings. I forgot what their name is this year, but in the past, they've regularly been up in the standings. They take advantage of their workplace giving program to Extra Life, and that's something I want to really like take as an example when I'm working with the ESTA. In fact, the person I'm co-leading the fundraising committee with, she runs the peer-to-peer fundraising program at the Lurie Children's Hospital, so she's overseeing the Extra Life program. So as I was talking to Scouter earlier, it really makes meetings so much easier because she understands what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain fundraising concepts to her. She's like, all right, I know it. When I say donor drive, she knows who I'm talking about. When I talk about incentives and milestones and how to set up your Extra Life page, she knows what I'm talking about. It's a really great working relationship, and one of the big focuses of the year is to help them raise money for their own Extra Life program. So the ESTA Extra Life, ESTA Life, I think is the tag I'm going to create for that.
Nice.
Oh my god, that's 2 in a row. I'm gonna cut you off now. I'm just kidding. That's awesome.
So that's what I've been up to for the past few months.
I see.
So really haven't been doing anything. You're just kind of lazing around.
Right.
I know. Like I said, I've only played
really
2
easy.
games in that time.
No, that's great. Awesome. So what kind of made you think of this idea in a way? Like what made you be like, I want to do this?
You mean go into consulting or go into esports?
Well, yeah, both. Why not? We got 30 minutes.
Yeah, going into consulting. So, like I said, I've been working in nonprofit fundraising for a long time. Mm-hmm. First job I got out of college was in fundraising. Mm-hmm. And I told myself, I don't want to work for another nonprofit. Instead, I want to do my own thing so I can work with nonprofits. Because right now, I work for one large nonprofit, and of course, I'm kind of just tied to that. But as a consultant, I have the potential to choose to work with many, worthy causes. And that's why I wanted to go into consulting.
I see.
Yeah.
So why like esports? Why do you feel like that's like the way to go?
So a lot of this is by luck. Before I went to a TwitchCon last year, someone from the ESTA, pinged me on LinkedIn, and we started having a conversation just randomly. And there was like, you know what, maybe I should join the Esports Trade Association. But before I did that, I just kind of, wanted to let the thoughts percolate a bit and, let me enjoy TwitchCon before I made a decision. At TwitchCon, I went to some of the booths of some other nonprofits and, some of the donor drive and Tiltify stuff. And one of the things that kept popping up, because I asked people, like, what are the plans for the coming years? One of the things that kept popping up was, I wish we had a better approach to esports. So I said, you know what? Then this is a great opportunity. Let me join the ESTA. Let me learn about, the ins and outs of esports and see how I can apply that in like a fundraising application. What can we do to bring these sides together? And, one of the things that I found was really, I don't want to say right, but really an opportune time is with collegiate esports. Because a lot of the kids in school, number one, they're wild about games. But it's also a great opportunity for them to really connect with a nonprofit, a cause that they really believe in. One of the things that nonprofits, like traditional nonprofits, and I say this at every like appearance I make, the average donor is like in their 60s and still gives my check. Do you really want to wait 40 years for an opportunity for someone to not just give to you, but really start to believe in your mission? So you start to work with them now, really get them hyped up to believe in your cause, whether it's your local children's hospital, international relief group, anything to deal with hunger, anything to really get involved now when they're young so that you can build a potential 40, 50-year relationship with them.
Right.
That you're not even worrying about the money. You're just, because that'll come over time and you have to build it up just like any relationship. So you might say, well, they don't have a lot of money to give. And I'm like, yeah, but if they're giving $20 a year over the next 50 years, that's more than the person who's giving at 65, potentially will. I know we're making advances in health, but they're not. There's only so far that'll go.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. People say, oh, the kids don't have money to donate, right? How much does a game cost these days? The accessories.
60, 80.
Yeah. All you got to do is give them a reason to give, and they'll be happy to spend to your cause. Just like the startup cost of being a streamer, you can spend $100 just like on a mic headset.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. These kids will have the money. You just have to, give them something to believe in.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to hammer home to a lot of these nonprofits. I think a lot of it is fear of the unknown. They don't know how to engage them. And I think a lot of times when they do, it's kind of like when your dad tries to talk to you with like the current cool words, and it just sounds weird when coming from them.
Yeah.
So I've sometimes see like tweets or emails from companies trying to approach some big streamers, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah. That's great. So
All right.
I guess. Sorry, go on, Beskar Snake, if you have something.
Oh, I was just gonna say I kind of have sort of a two-parter question in a way.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of I know speedrunning and esports, two separate things. But is there a lot of any specific like inspirations that you've kind of derived from like AGDQ? And I know Grand Pooh Bears, started doing some speed running charity events and some of these other speed running events. And sort of the second part of that, if you have you considered reaching out to anyone who organizes those as maybe like kind of a way to, whether it's collaborate or even just sort of find an avenue to improve what you plan on doing, or give you any sort of kind of a roadmap, so to speak, on other ways to help approach to really get this idea out there?
Oh, great questions. The first part, let's go with that first. So, interestingly, Summer Games Done Quick is what gave me my head start. My initial inspiration to connect video games with fundraising. Immediately before this job, I was at another nonprofit. And that's when I first watched Summer Games Done Quick. Because someone said, hey, you should watch this event. People just play games really fast. I was like, okay. I didn't know it was like a fundraiser, though. And I found out, it's benefiting Doctors Without Borders. So I was like, interesting. It's a fundraiser with video games. And that's when I first started seeing things like fun incentives and milestones. It's like, in my block, if I raise $500 or $1,000, I'm going to do something cool. Or we're going to unlock this game. And I'm like, oh, I see how they're getting people excited because it's like they want to see it. But the most important thing that I took away from that wasn't like the money raised. Right now, Summer Games Done Quick raises $3-4 million. But back then, it was like not even $1 million. Mm. So it wasn't really about the money. It was about the community building. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Doctors Without Borders was able to capture an audience decades younger than their typical profile. And I was like, yes, this is great. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go run this by my fundraising unit and see what they think. And I was like really hyped. So I had this presentation. And seriously, I still remember the sound of nothing. I was like, super excited. I was like, guys, check this out. It was crickets the whole way. And I was like, what? The major gift guy, I remember, was like, I don't get it. That's what he sounds like, because I'm in New York. I don't get it. People give by watching video games.
Sorry. That's Jersey, but... Anyways.
People give money by watching others play video games? I don't get it. And I was like, what's not to get? The numbers speak for themselves. So I was a little discouraged, but they weren't ready for that concept, so maybe I didn't explain it right, but they just weren't ready. But I was inspired. I was like, this is what I want to do. And that was like 7 years ago.
That's when I joined Extra Life.
Really?
A year after I joined Extra Life.
And Extra Life was the first charity streaming organization I joined. Mm-hmm. I signed up, and I donated, but I didn't actually start streaming until later. So I didn't actually do my first Extra Life stream until a couple years of first joining Extra Life. So that's how I got my start. That's what initially inspired me to answer your question. To get into streaming and fundraising was Summer Games Done Quick. The second question you asked was, wait, what again? Why?
just kind of, have you considered or have you started to kind of reach out to some of those other speedrunning organizations just to sort of kind of get some pointers or a roadmap or
mm-hmm.
Anything kind of help guide a little bit what you plan on doing?
So thankfully through the Esports Trade Association, I've been able to go through some networking events.
That's awesome.
So I haven't met with anybody related to speedrunning per se, but I have met with a few folks who organize esports tournaments. And we just started bouncing ideas around of places we could, or organizations we could talk to, local colleges, for example, and local nonprofits. It's just the big challenge is being able to get under calendar, especially with schools. Especially at this time of the year, they've already plotted out their entire academic year. So, I'm like, all right, fine. Then I think come September or even August, just before school starts again, that's when I'll come back to the schools and be like, hey, what can I do to help you raise money for, either the school themselves or whatever cause they have, in mind. I know a few of my local schools have Extra Life programs too. So I thought, alumni, Extra Life, hello. But I really want to get into collaborating with companies who work with the local professional leagues. Like the Overwatch League is still very popular. And I know here in New York, the Overwatch team, the Excelsior, they have their fan... oh, hello.
Sorry.
We got a big Cloud9 fan here.
Cloud9, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the New York teams have...
If you meet up with them, call me. No,
all right.
Just kidding.
You know it. So it'd be cool to meet up with some of the local teams.
Yeah. That's great.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, so that could very well be in the future.
Yeah, no, but I'd love to meet with more people. So yes, I've met with a few folks, but it'd be great to network with more. So
maybe an idea, and maybe I know, and maybe Beskar Snake could allude to this too. Of each speedrunning of we have one speed runner. Oh, sorry, what?
I'll be right back. Hang on. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. We have Beskar Snake, who's a speedrunner in a way, and we have all these different gaming channels. Maybe so. Have you connected with and I know each one of them have their own Discord and have their own community of just even Sea of Thieves that I've mentioned. I know they have their own community, and then Trackmania has this community. Super Mario has this Super Mario. They have Sethling, they have Grand Pooh Bear, and all these other people. So how do you connect with so do you connect with them in their Discord and kind of?
So
I guess
that would be a logical first step. For me, I've been playing many years in the Monster Hunter community,
right?
And so yes, I have I do have access to that Discord, and especially with the speedrunning community. But I've only recently, even started being more active in the Monster Hunter community. Most of the time, I'm in the background. But there's definitely a cultural difference. You have your casual players, and then you have the speedrunners, and they're hardcore, min-maxing their equipment. And that's just not my style of play. And if you watch a speedrun stream, you can have 100 hunts, and only one of them is going to be good, right? You mess up the first few seconds, they reboot, restart. And I don't have the patience to watch that. So, I think that's an disadvantage for me trying to connect with that community. So I actually think it would be better if I went into the community of folks whose games I don't play. That way I'm not I don't have that inbuilt frustration.
Right.
Because I can appreciate a lot of different games, even if I don't play it. Who was the guy who did the blindfolded Mike Tyson's Punch-Out run a couple of years ago? I love Punch-Out. No. I'm terrible at it, but I appreciate it enough where I can get in there and start talking about it.
blindfolded Metal Gear Solid 2.
Zillard? Is it Zillard?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like that's a game I don't actively play, but I appreciate the heck out of. That those are the kind of places I think I'll have better luck making inroads in rather than the speedrunning community in Monster Hunter.
Okay. Cool. No, it's just like definitely there's so many community of speedrunning communities that you can intertwine with for sure.
Yeah.
So in terms
Actually, wait, hold up. There is one community of speedrunners for a game that I love that I actually would probably I should spend more time in. I actually was in that Discord for a little bit. I think I probably still am, but inactive. I play City Skylines a lot.
Yeah.
A
good game.
And there actually was a regular. I don't know how regular to do it now, but Cities in a Snap. So it's a regular, program where they get a bunch of City Skylines players to speed build cities. Given they have different parameters. So it's funny when they're asked to build, and there's kind of like no limits. They're just like building just to jam people into a space. They have some hilariously windy roads, streets that don't make sense, But yeah, Cities in the Snap.
Yeah. Kind of want to check that out now.
I know everything and anything can and will be speedrun. City Builders is not one that immediately comes to mind. I just don't think about that.
Man,
and obviously, like I said, if there is one person playing a game, there is going to be at least one other person that is going to try to speedrun that game.
In fact, a couple of years ago, a big partnered Twitch streamer raided my channel because I was playing City Skylines, and they asked me the same question. They were like, how long you been in the community? And I was like, a few years, but I really got into it more when I was watching Cities in the Snap. And one guy in chat was like, I'm the guy who runs that. And I was like, oh.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I had to I knew for sure because I know the name, and I was like, you're in my chat.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
I feel like we all of us have this now this fan base of people noticing us. We got a white shirt guy over here. We have now this, and I have
white shirt a year ago.
White shirt guy in Extra Life United. No, and then I have, I think, RT Game. I think I mentioned this. I said, he streamed paint dry, and I put in his chat, said we need a shirt now, and then he made a shirt, so I had to get that shirt now. I was like, dang. So, and also, and I think when I was at the time when when Extra Life had streamers stream on their channel, was it Good? Or no, someone in the Minecraft community, I can't think of his name, rated me, and I'm like, I'm good, I'm dead now. Oh no, oh my god, Chad, that was his name. Oh my god, Chad rated me, and I was like, I'm dead, I'm dead. We're good. I'm good forever. So this is cool. And I know this week a lot of people, famous Rooster Teeth.
Yes.
Can't think of his name right now. Groovy met him, and he's part of the RT Rooster Teeth community, and I can't think of his name, but yeah, it's really cool to see these big people involved in these charities, and
absolutely,
possibly meeting them. That'd be even better.
Yeah, I mean, last year at ELU, I got to meet Bruce Green. He was there and streaming and everything, and that was something really cool that I didn't think that I would ever get an opportunity like that when I joined Extra Life. I didn't think about it, and then when I found out he was going to be a guest last year, I was like, well, that's really cool. Maybe I'll maybe run into him. And actually did happen to run into him, got to talk with him for, a little bit. And that was just something really neat to kind of accidentally happen upon, if that makes sense. Because I don't know if anybody joins Extra Life and goes, I'm going to meet all these famous people one day. I know that never crossed my mind, until the weeks leading up to that.
Yeah. Jack. Yeah, that's right. Jack Patillo. That's it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to be there, but unfortunately something came up, and I don't remember why, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it. I can't remember if he got stuck or something, but yeah, unfortunately he was not able to make it, so...
But no, it's just even meeting some of the kids. It's like, man, at least when I toured the hospital. I mean, just seeing the kids walk by. I mean, and then obviously the person's like, yeah, this. I mean, I don't know if it's our donation, but it's like, hey, this donation, like our gifts did help this mechanical thing to help them walk better. And I'm like,
no,
I don't know if that's me, but at least it's like, at least I know our dollars are going to a cause, and
they're not just going straight in the shredder,
right? Yeah,
it's
cool. It's cool to see the money being, obviously used correctly, properly.
You see all the Lamborghinis and Ferraris out in the parking lot, and they all say Extra Life on
Extra Life. I mean,
like,
even
no. This is actually going, to
I know
directly benefit the hospital.
There's some companies who are really weird like that they like take a cut and stuff. When no, Extra Life doesn't do any of this, so
nope.
It's cool. So yeah, I'm just
speaking of Extra Life. Remember? Oh, sorry. Do you remember one of my favorite Extra Life just random pop-ups in chat was we were playing Fortnite, and Extra Life decided to pop into chat.
Oh yeah, Extra Life was
like, hey guys, just wanted to thank you for all the hard work you're doing. Like, yeah, no, this is great. And you know what? The next win is for you.
Yeah,
and you know what? Then we won.
Yeah, it's good.
Perfectly timed moment,
right?
Yeah, it was great. And even like Children's Hospital, like my Children's Hospital showed up. Like the people there, Jamie, like I think her name's Jamie for my representative at the time, and it's like, hey, it's Jamie from so and so. I'm like, oh my god, at least it's cool to at least like feel special about. It goes a long way. As little, and I know even Extra TwitchCon, Tiltify did an awesome thing of anyone who fundraised for them or or logged in and raised. I don't know if it was a raise money or I assume raise something. Like
raise money.
Their name was on this big board, this big wall of stuff, and Polshu luckily DM'd me mine, and it's awesome to see. Like, it's like, all right, I know it's something little, but like for like people who maybe want to get into fundraising, and I suggest go into extralife.org. No, there's hundreds of charities. I mean, best way to definitely look into charities and decide which one you want to go with. I didn't join Extra Life right away. My first year was just I joined and I didn't raise anything. I just wanted to like see the community and like integrate. So like maybe I would suggest kind of getting that. Like I know there's hundreds of charity, thousands and millions of charities, and I know obviously me for instance I bounced around throughout the year. So like I'd recommend just checking out a charity, seeing what their community's like. Maybe DM them, say, what advice would you like to give to, like, if I were to join this community, like how like just getting some advice and getting some direction, so that way when you stream for them, you'd be like, yeah, look, this is a great community, and look, I met these two goons out of it. I'm just kidding. No. I mean, this podcast wouldn't this podcast wouldn't exist for Extra Life and throughout the community, Unbound and I could list thousands, hundreds of people I'm like following just because of Extra Life.
So many people.
But like again, even if you don't join Extra Life, like it's just a good, cool thing to do, like off to the side, you know. And it doesn't cost anything, like to join a charity, and you could just sign up for Tiltify and look up a charity and fundraise for them and look into them more. And you know, like we all said, it's they're there to help out. Like I actually DM'd somebody in Extra Life, like I think it's Time at. I was like, hey, tell me how to join Extra Life, and she guided me through. And it's just like as simple as that. I know it's simple and it's easy to join. By the way, I'm not making it hard, but I just was like, I don't know how this works. I have no idea. So it doesn't hurt to DM somebody if you're interested. Like pretty well, you know, nonprofits are pretty good on Twitter and even on Twitch. Like if you see them on like Guardians of mental health, you know, stuff like that. You see them streaming, you could message them saying,
well, Guardians,
like
they're Destiny players,
right?
So it's not like, so that's why they know how to engage gamers, because they themselves are gamers.
Right?
Yeah. And any community like that, especially if it's for charity, if they're worth anything, if you reach out, people are going to help you. They want to help you. If they don't, maybe do a little bit more research into that community, that group. But you know, just like you said, any of those charity communities, if you reach out and they're a community that's worth their weight, somebody is going to want to help you, or you're going to be overloaded with the amount of people that want to help you, because they should be wanting to grow their community and have that positivity and everything in it. And if they don't, you know, maybe you can be the one that sort of steps up and kind of helps guide people along too.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
yeah, and I think there has to be some expectations for companies. They see like Extra Life does really well. They're millions and millions of dollars. St. Jude, millions and millions of dollars. And I think some companies go in thinking that's
what they're gonna do, right?
Right. They don't realize that, you know, Extra Life has been around since Twitch began. You know, it took them years to build this up, and
hundreds and thousands of people and hours and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I mean, yes, there are a few really superstar fundraisers. You know, you got the famous ones like, you know, Dr. Lupo, who raised like millions of dollars for St. Jude's. But by and large, the majority of the people who raise money for organizations are folks like us. You know, a couple $100 here and there, maybe $1,000, $2,000, and it all adds up. You know, because it's all about that community building aspect. You know, you want to build hundreds, thousands of people into your community and let them grow, rather than just focus on the big content creators. I mean, if you can get those big guys, sure, but you're as a company who wants to get into video game fundraising, you really got to start with everybody else, really. And if you're lucky, they'll get really, really into your cause, and the more you engage with them, if you play your cards right and grow with them, who knows what the potential will be, you know? But you have to invest as much in them to get them to invest in you, because there's at the end of the day, it's competition.
Exactly. We're running out of time. I just have one big question, and like what advice, and this could go for everyone because I feel like Beskar Snake didn't get anything. But what like advice, like we mentioned, we all fundraise for multiple, like I fundraise for multiple charities, and we all fundraise for Extra Life. So I guess someone who is fundraising for the first time or hesitant, like what advice would you give? You know, I kind of said a little bit, but what advice would you give to like start off on like fundraising? And like, let's say they picked a charity, right? What do you think you want to like have? Like, what what advice would you give them once they like figure it out? Let's start with Beskar Snake. Sure.
I know it's cliche, but one of my good friends a long time ago said things are cliche for a reason because they work, and that's how they become cliche. But really, and everybody's going to hammer it home. Everybody's going to say it. Do what you want to do. It's your stream. It's your mission, your goal. Yeah, you can play the popular game. And, the biggest thing that you have to worry about with that is if you play the most popular game the day it comes out, you're going to be competing against every other person that's playing that game. If you decide, hey, I want to start this fundraising thing, I'm going to do it on the day the new Call of Duty releases. I'm going to be huge. There's 50,000 other people that are streaming Call of Duty on that day. And yeah, you could happen to hit that little niche. You could happen to get that little spot. And if you enjoy Call of Duty, by all means, do that. Play that. But if you don't enjoy Call of Duty and you try to do that, you're going to start making what could be and should be a fun passion into a grind. Mm-hmm. And there's a very good chance you're going to get frustrated. There's a very good chance you're going to kind of say, you know what, forget this. I'm done with it. To sort of bounce off of what KKR was saying, you can have that one streamer that raises $500. And that's awesome. But think of if on the other side of that, you have 10,000 streamers that each raise $1. I'm not I don't have a math degree, but believe that 10,000 is still bigger than 500, and all of that matters. So even if you start out and, things aren't going the way that you want them to, or things aren't, just taking off like a bottle rocket and everything, even just streaming, if you were going to, the biggest, I'm kind of going all over the place here. The biggest thing that works for me is I'm already going to be playing video games. Mm-hmm. I enjoy video games. I've enjoyed video games for a very long time. If I can sit down in front of a camera, or if I can just sit down on my couch and play games that I was already going to play and maybe fundraise some money along the way, that's incredible. That's awesome. I've had plenty of streams with, 0 viewers, 1 viewer, things like that.
It's because we've been playing Metal Gear Solid, so I'm just putting that. I'm just
no. Those are the streams I get the most of.
Just sorry.
And delete.
I'm sorry, that's too easy.
No, that was good. Well played. But and it can be frustrating. It can be disheartening at times. But like I said, I was going to play that game anyway. I'm having fun playing that game. So yeah, I'm closing in on raising $10,000 lifetime for Extra Life, and that it's a very real possibility that I could hit that this year.
So we're gonna do the 1 chip challenge again.
Oh my gosh.
If it didn't taste so bad, mate. Yeah, you know what? Maybe
I still remember when you did that, Beskar Snake. I was on that stream when you
felt so sick.
I didn't. It was hot. Don't get me wrong, but it just
was
tasted
the flavor.
So bad.
So that's why we got to do it again. Maybe they redid it.
Maybe they did. The heat, I could handle. It was hot. It was. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh yeah, no, I'm super tough. No, it was hot. Right. It is a. They got you on the heat, but that taste, man,
it's gross. Yeah. Anyways.
No, but yeah, no. Anyway, but yeah. So, just having those, playing a game that you want to play because you want to play it, to me is the most important thing. That's the most fun that I'm gonna have.
Right.
So I, like I said, it's cliche. I know it is, but that's what I'm gonna stick with, and that's what I'm gonna run with.
Sounds good. All right, KKR, what do you now? Being a consultant, raising funds for all sorts of charity. Like, what do you recommend in advice wise?
For a streamer who's already picked an organization to raise money for, I think even if you've already taken the time to choose an organization, you should still have talking points. No, I always ask, what are you focusing on this year? Like, I always ask them, like, is there any particular program, any particular country you guys are focusing on? That way I know what to talk about if people ask me on stream, or even if I just want to spontaneously talk about why I want to raise money for this company. It's like, oh yeah, they're doing a lot of work in the Ukraine, or they're really focused on a really rare children's disease, and I think I want to, draw more attention and advocate for that. Being very well informed about the organization you're raising money for is, to me, very important. Because I think a lot of people, sometimes charity streamers get a bad rap because sometimes charity streamers will just do it for, I guess, the clout or the attention. They know nothing about the org. They just want to get the branding and the affiliation. But what's the most important thing for us charity streamers, or streamers in general, is authenticity, right? And so knowing more about the org, I think, really brings home that element of authenticity.
Awesome, great. I would say, I know I said something, but I'd say, like, I joined streaming, like, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to make a lot of money. I'm not going to be, I already know. I mean, maybe one day I'll be popular and Skylar Zone 5 will be just all over the place. One day. But I've been streaming for more than 7 years, so I feel like I feel like, you know what? Instead of donating to me, I want to donate to a cause. And what is that? And then being integrated in the community throughout my life, and it's just like, you know what? And then Extra Life, I found out at a gaming convention about Extra Life, and then I signed up. I didn't hear anything, and I saw other streamers streaming for it. I was like, oh, that's that program. I asked them, and here I am. And then I saw Allison's story on the YouTube page. She's a transgender teen through Ohio, and so I was like, yeah, that's my why. Like, that's my why. Like, that streaming and raising funds for similar, transgender individuals, or even just in general, kids and their health. And then I found out I went through children's, and we all have this connection. Both of us, all three of us, have this connection with family, friends that went through children's hospital. And then, everyone else personally, like their son, their daughter, themselves, it's just awesome now. Like, it hit me with a brick wall when my mom's like, you went through children's too, I was like, what? It's like, yeah, your esophagus wasn't fully developed. So it's like, now it's like, okay, now I'm fundraising basically for myself in a way, for kids like me who may have, I don't know what have happened, but because I'm no medical person, but who knows? But now that doing that and other, finding out, I was like, oh wait, there's others, obviously there's other charities, but as KKR is mentioning, there's all these gaming communities or charities trying to do this forefront now. So it's really cool to see. And now, like, for me as a gamer, I'm like, well, I'm seeing this this Beskar Snake speedrunning Metal Gear Solid. I'm gonna donate to this cause because I like Metal Gear Solid and speed. Oh my god, I can't even say that now. I'm just kidding. I like Metal Gear Solid and speedrunning.
Gather that clip and
right, clip it. Someone clip that. Even I've discovered some streamers I've never, or speedrunners that I never thought I would. I mentioned Trackmania and Virtual. Like, saw him through Games Done Quick, and I was like, I kind of liked Trackmania, and I watch him now religiously. It's insane how much I watch him. But like, you get into these speedrunning communities and other charities that way, and it's just great to see. So, anyways, that was a long conversation. Check out. Sorry, I already lost it. I'm getting there. So yeah, definitely appreciate KKR, you coming in and talking about MGA fundraising and what the potential of fundraising, even just gaming in general, fundraising and possibly, if you're interested in the speedrunning aspect, but just basically fundraising for charities, doesn't matter what it is. Appreciate the knowledge and the connection here. It's really cool.
No.
And
it's always cool to see other branches to
Yeah.
this community and just to everything and how things can sort of spider web out from, starting in that one organization and then seeing that grow. So it'll be really awesome to see your journey progress even further and how big that has a potential to become.
And again, if you know any Cloud9 people, just send them my way. Just say hi, get their autograph or something. Give me something from them. I mean,
See that guy over there? Avoid him.
Yeah. Just putting that out there. No, it's just awesome, and I know it's very difficult. I mean, I know we all feel like what we talked about today sounds very difficult, but as I think all three of us, and I've mentioned this all, hate to speak for everyone, but as I mentioned in the past, like even if you raise $0, who knows, like who might have popped in your stream, found out about this charity, and started their own campaign out of you. So like, again, if it wasn't for me finding out a streamer, I wouldn't have DM'd them and be like, hey, tell me about the Sexual Life. How do I join? So
the best question that I love anybody asking in the stream, what is Extra Life?
Right.
Because that's, even if it's as a joke or if it's not a joke, that's one more person that now knows about Extra Life.
Right.
And just knows that there's the possibility of fundraising through video games, whether it's Extra Life or Donor Drive, Tiltify, anything, crowd control, any of that. If you can inform just one person, you're already doing so much more.
Exactly. So again, with that, I appreciate everyone's time. Definitely recommend checking out MGA Fundraising on Twitter. That's KKR's now business. And also check out KKR. Definitely, even if you're not there to consult. Again, I hate to speak for you, but it's just, I think just to have that connection with MGA fundraising would be good if you're a fundraiser, because I'm sure you'll probably give tips and say stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what your goal is, but I know what your goal is, but I'm just saying it's a good aspect to definitely check out, to have those connections in a way.
If you're at a nonprofit and you want to get into video game fundraising, I'm your guy.
There's your guy.
There's your guy. And then or check out KingKongRong 25 on Twitter, Twitch, live streams, some great games and great streaming.
Go into his stream and ask him about it.
Yeah, that too. And then we
can give you even more information than he got here today.
Beskar Snake, Twitter, Twitch as well, and I'm Scotterstone5. You can find this podcast on youtube.com//Scotterstone5. Through Spotify, just search Robot Attack. Really appreciate the guests. We definitely really appreciate it because, to be honest with you, it gets me a little bit insane just talking to this guy for 6 podcasts on. So we definitely like these breaks of other guests coming in and talking about their passion, and it's really cool to see.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's always this is all something that obviously the three of us are passionate about.
Yes.
And to again be able to see that expand out past what we already know and what we do is, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and all the links will be below this video and on Spotify, so don't worry about forgetting it. I will put it in the description. Don't worry. But thanks everyone for watching and listening. I'm Scotterstone5, Beskar Snake, and KKR. Really appreciate you guys being here again, and I'll see you guys soon. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.